Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my review on Ready to Love. This is the season finale as well as the reunion part 1. Disclaimer, I am shooting this video during the 4th of July, so if you hear fireworks in the background, it is what it is. Please do not forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for this video, and if you like this type of content, and let's go ahead and get started. Episode 12 starts off with Renisha bringing Joelle to meet her mom, dad, and oldest daughter. As we know, this episode is supposed to be like all of the couples meeting each other's parents or family members to see if this is going to be something super serious. And Vernisha's mama just gets straight to it, honey. She's asking the hard-hitting questions about the family dynamic and how he's going to feel kind of getting this instant family with her 3 daughters and his already having 2 children. And Joel says that he is here for it. He is okay with that type of instant family, and he essentially gets a thumbs up from Vernisha's family. Vernisha's daughter even makes a point to say how she's never seen her mom speak this highly of a man or be this into a man. So this is a cute little family scene. Next, we see Jason meeting Liz's family, and he instantly wins Liz's family over by leading Grace. He got those brownie points like immediately. Liz's family is like him, they are very rooted in their faith. And just to see that he is a God-fearing man, they're happy for him and their daughter. Then we see Chris being introduced. Then we see Chris introducing Amber to his brothers. And one of those brothers, I didn't write down his name, but one of the brothers, I'm assuming he was an older brother. Just he gave off big brother energy. He wasn't having it, okay? He wanted to make sure that Chris wasn't getting like the run around or getting the run over. He said that last season Chris put his heart out on the line for someone who said that they were genuine and they were really there for love. And then at the end of the day, it didn't happen. And Amber just like reassured him that my actions speak louder than my words, that I am being as genuine as I can be during this process. And Chris just seems just like infatuated by Amber. Like everything she says, he is just like, yes, this is why I'm with her. Y'all, side note, they have been shooting these fireworks for like 4 hours straight at this point. Like they have literally had to spend $1,000 in fireworks. Okay. Then we have AJ coming on over to meet Kyra's family. Well, it wasn't Kyra's family. It was Kyra's mom and then like her best friend, who she calls her sister. And Kyra clearly is not the only lawyer in the family, okay? Because he was not ready for the 5th degree that, is it the 3rd degree? The 3rd degree, I'm talking about 5th degree. The 3rd degree. That Kyra's mom and sister gave to him. One of the questions that they asked was what was his plans for Kyra in the future, and AJ doesn't have a plan for her. But even despite him not having a plan, he said enough and did enough to make the mom kind of be on his side, but the best friend really wasn't here for it. And Kyra just kind of takes that into consideration because she says that her bestie has like the same reservations for AJ that she has, and so she's really taking that into account when she goes to make her decision at the end of the episode. All right, then let's see who we got next. We got Amber and Amber's family meeting Chris, And so they asked Chris about, his past relationships. And, um, you know, I think he said that he had been in 4 serious relationships before. And the I believe it was the sister was like, oh, that's a lot, But even though at first the family seemed like kind of hard to crack, Chris's just calm nature and just his overall demeanor wins them over in the long run. And I mean, you can't help but like Chris. He's just so sweet. Um, then we have Bernicia meeting with Joel's family. She met with his mom and sister, I believe, and it's just like she instantly fit in with them. The conversation was easy. It just seemed like a genuine kind of meeting. Like it didn't seem forced to me. They seemed like they really liked her. But what they did notice about Vernicia is that it seems like she likes Joelle more than Joelle likes her. Now, I know that they say, like, people say that there's always one person that likes the other person more in a relationship, but it is my belief that if that is true, then it should be the man and not the woman, just because it just works out better that way, you know? You kind of want the man to be the one that's like head over heels in the beginning and infatuated, in my opinion. Y'all tell me what you think down below. All right, so then we get AJ's mom and Kyra. And AJ's mama's name is Cindy. She's the only mama's name who I wrote down because, honey, Miss Cindy was looking like she was not here for none of this foolishness. She don't know why her son is on this dating show. She just want her grandkids, and that's all she want. And at the end of the day, Kyra and Miss Cindy seemed like they clicked, but I just don't see a genuine connection with them. And I've been saying it, and we're gonna get further into that at the end of this review once we get into reviewing the reunion. But yeah. Am I surprised by the ending of this? Not at all. When Jason's mom meets with Liz, she asks about finances, and um, she asked about the finances, and Liz is Liz. Liz is great at being like super sweet and answering questions in a very just gentle and sweet and godly way. And I feel like she won. I mean, she won her over. Who's not going to like Liz, besides, I guess, Jason's friends? One more thing about AJ's mom. AJ's mom did point out that she was kind of unsure about just the consistency of him and Kyra's relationship. And Kyra kind of went into that a little bit more, saying that, like, the reason why they kind of started off on rocky ground was because, she had to pay for that date. And the mama was like, I ain't raised no son to have nobody paying for no date. So the mama wasn't here for that. And again, all of this is just reinforcing what Kyra already has known. So why she's still here, I don't know. So we get to the end of the episode. I did not at all take notes about who met where, when, who, what, why, and all that kind of stuff, because it really was irrelevant to me. We knew everybody was going to stay together and choose to be in a relationship except for AJ and Kyra. Even though AJ tried to be all extra romantic, playing this piano off key and singing and being horrible. And if that is what you're doing to be a music producer, I understand why you're still struggling. But Kyra was just not ready to be committed. So we have, again, she has wasted all this time. All right, so that's the end of the episode episode 12. So let's go ahead and jump into this reunion. Shout out to my Patreon. Y'all are the real MVPs. I'm going to be trying to do some special things for y'all in this new year because y'all have definitely been riding with me. If you would like to join my Patreon, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to www.patreon.com/bstokestyling and make your pledge. $5, $10, or $25. Currently, I'm trying to get to 20 Patreons, you guys, so make sure you help me reach my goal by clicking the link down in my description box and joining my Patreon. You do not want to miss out on the early access to my videos. Alright, y'all, so let's go ahead and get to what was actually really interesting, which was the reunion, okay? I'm sorry. I was not at all excited about the finale, because we knew what was going to happen, so I just wasn't looking forward to it. But this reunion, though, okay. Anywho, the reunion starts off with Chris's package showing that he was the curveball of this season, bringing him back. A lot of the girls were kind of on him in the beginning, and he says that he kind of connected with Amber on day 2, but to me that was just a mistake. Well, I guess it works out for him for this season, but also Chris, that was a mistake that you made on your first season, just picking that one girl and then just riding hard with her. Because if Amber did not pick or gel back with you, then you would have been in the same boat 2 seasons in a row. Side note, what the hell was Amber wearing? It looked like some kind of snake swallowing the side of her arm. It was a hot mess. But at the end of the day, they are still on the same page. They are still dating. They are happy. They just talked the other day, or went out the other day. They talk every day. Did they ask if they're having sex? I don't think they asked that. Chris, are you still practicing semen retention? The viewing public would like to know. But I like them. I've liked them. If you watched my reviews, you know that I've liked them since they got together. The next package we see is Kyra, and we saw a never before seen date with her and David, and so I guess that's supposed to let us know more as to why David picked her. Because remember, there was that one scene where damn near every guy was picking Kyra, and so she was the hot girl, and we're just kind of seeing all her connections with all the different guys. And so it's asked to her, how did she feel about all the guys kind of being being on her, looking for her to be her number one. And she said that she kind of felt uncomfortable and uneasy, and she felt like there was a target on her back, which, I mean, I don't know if there was a target on your back for most of the ladies. I could definitely understand why she feels that way when it comes to Alexis. But as far as the rest of the ladies, I don't know. But Tommy does ask Alexis her opinion, and Alexis says that she wasn't sure if Kyra was really there for love. It kind of felt like she was more there for playing the game. And I can agree with that, especially with seeing how everything ended, because it's I get Kyra saying okay, I don't want to just commit to someone just to commit to them or everything, but it's not like you are ending this show and then walking down the aisle to get married. This isn't what 90 Day Fiance is. That how they do it over there? Or this isn't Married at First Sight. This is just you committing to actively dating this person. And she could not do that with anyone, even though she made these connections with all these various guys, and then in the end it was just you just wanted to stay on the show because the one guy that you were really connected to, allegedly, he done moved on, and now it's just you were playing the game. You wasted your time. And I do agree that it didn't seem like she was there for love. I think she kind of enjoys the chase, and she enjoys the dating, but not necessarily actually being in a relationship. which might be why she is still single to this day. And we even get some extra little tea and find out that Ron tried to date Kyra before the show even started. Okay, so we found this out because what happened, y'all? Let me remember. We found this out because on the stage they were talking about how Tommy brought up that it shouldn't have even gotten back to the group that all of the men were choosing Kyra, but he had like a rat in the men's lounge, in the gentleman's lounge or whatever, which we know was Ron. Ron is a messy bottom, okay? I'm sorry, but Ron was just messy, like throughout the season, throughout the process, and we're seeing that more now that the reunion is here. And so when they go on their little break, that's when Kyra's in the back and she's fussing because she's talking about Ron and how messy he is and how he was just butthurt that she didn't want to go out with him and she turned him down before the show. So now I'm trying to understand, Kyra, you really do be at every dating event, don't you? Because how you done dated AJ before the show. You done turned down Ron. Now you on the show. You sitting up here. Everybody wants to be with you. You be at every. How big is Houston? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. We get back from break and we get a little video from Tressa. She wasn't able to make it because she had COVID, but she looked really good. I liked her hair. And we find out that she's single, but she is still ready to love. She says her and her good personality is still ready to love. So hopefully Tressa finds someone. Next, we have this little section of the reunion where we talk about Khalil and Christian, who were the first two guys to be eliminated. I did not even remember their names, honey. But we do find out that Christian, which was the like more quiet one, him and Andrea have still been like talking and communicating. And even though they've been talking, he has not asked her out. So they kind of like push him to like ask her out here on the spot. So he stands up and he makes it this dramatic thing. And he just seems so timid. And she's like, yes, of course I'll go out with you. Like, finally. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that is how he acts, I could see why he's still single. And we also find out that Khalil has been, dating or, fool-la-la with Ida. But Ida was like, instantly like, oh, are we telling people? Because I thought we weren't telling people. I thought we had a conversation and we said we weren't going to tell anybody. And so I was confused about that because it's like, did you not want him to say it? Or are you mad that he said it? Or I'm confused, like something about it was like weird. I don't know if it was supposed to be a secret, that they agreed that it was going to be a secret just because it was better, or if they just agreed not to talk about it unless it was asked. But Tommy tried to like bring like, well, say something nice about Ida, like, because I don't know, Ida's weird. Anyway, moving on. So we get to Ron, the messy one. And they go through his package. And we see at the end of the package where Ron basically said he thought Alexis was smarter than that. And, he really, like, was disrespectful. And Tommy checks him and was like, in all the years that they've been doing this show, he's never had any man speak to a woman like that. And Tommy believes that, Ron owes Alexis an apology, period. And so Ron starts off and gives like this half-ass apology, but then goes and says, well, he wants an apology too. Well, what do you want an apology for, Ron? What is there to apologize for, Ron? What did Alexis do to you, Ron? And so they end up getting into this whole thing because, like, we're trying to understand this dynamic Ron felt like once Alexis kissed AJ that she was just completely over him, which could very well have been true. However, it still wasn't going to work because y'all weren't equally yoked spiritually. And then Alexis goes on to or was it ended up coming out. I don't remember how it came out. But it ended up coming out that even though Ron was claiming that he was so like Alexis was his number one and all of this kind of stuff, he had took Chrysanthemum to go meet his mama. Like Ron just moved really weird. Like behind the scenes, he was moving weird. You're going on dates with Amber and kissing her. You're taking Chrysanthemum to meet your mom, but then you get on the screen and you say Alexis is your number one, and so then you wonder why Alexis is confused because she's like, if you take someone like meeting someone's mom is important, and he tried to like downplay it, but there's no downplay. We know what that means. Like that's why they waited until the last episode for the couples to meet each other's like moms and dads and families, because that is something serious. Hell, my husband didn't meet my mama to me. He was dating for 2 years. Like, you don't just everybody just don't meet your mama. You know, Ron is trash. We are finding out that Ron is trash. Like Ron is so trash. Even Amber was on the stage calling out like his lies. And even though Ron is trying to deflect and say that Alexis cheated on him with AJ, no one is feeling it. Jason, he was trying to talk to Jason about it. Jason wasn't feeding into it. Like, Ron was so messy behind the scenes. I almost wish we could have seen more of it on the show, to be honest with you all. Um, then we have a little bit of a lull in the reunion. I'm not going to lie. I did kind of like mentally check out a bit. They talked about the guys and how they bonded and how they showed vulnerability. We love to see, you know, displays of positive black vulnerability so that we're not continuously perpetuating toxic masculinity. So kudos to them for that. They talk about Frick and Frack, which was Chrysanthemum and what was the other girl's name? I don't remember, but you know the other one that had got kicked off pretty early too. And even though I do think that their friendship was a bit much and would have been a bit much for me if I was one of the guys on the show, especially how like close they were and how they ran back and told each other every little thing about this process. I do understand what they were saying when they were like, you know, the guys were allowed to bond and have a connection. Why is it a problem when we are? I think the issue though is that the guys were able to bond in whatever way, but it did not stop them from actively dating. And it wasn't like you were dating two guys, you know what I'm saying? Or trying to please two guys at once. Um, then finally we get to the last little heated scenes of the reunion. You know, this love triangle between AJ, Alexis, and Kyra. So we see Alexis saying that AJ was claiming to pursue her, but at the end of the day, he chose to send her home, and she just wants to know why. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Alexis, AJ was on the outs, okay? At the time that he started to pursue you, Kyra had already made it clear that she was choosing Jason. Kyra was the only one that he really wanted since being on the show, but he knew that had he not gotten in good with somebody else, he would be the next guy going home, and you were the easiest person to get in with. Period. That's why he pursued you, and then all of a sudden at the end, at the last minute, he picks Kyra. Now let him tell it. He ain't want to be the rebound from her relationship with Ron. But at the end of the day, there is no rebound type of relationship. If that was the case, then she was the rebound relationship with you and Kyra, and we see what happened with that because you went right on back to Kyra. You know, she essentially had the same sorry y'all. She essentially had the same type of choice when it came down to you or Ron, and she chose you, AJ, and you chose Kyra, the person who you wanted to really be with. You were playing the game. It is what it is. So when they showed the package of AJ actually choosing Kyra, Alexis kind of seems like affected by it, like, as if it was her first time seeing it, and Tommy asks if she knew, how that went down, and she says that he told her. She believes that he told her or something, but everything after that was such a blur, and so I guess it just looks completely different. Excuse me, it looks completely different actually seeing it in person. And so Tommy asked AJ, why didn't he choose Kyra in the end? Why did he change his mind? And he says it's because of something that Tommy said, where that that the person is your person when they walk in the room and you light up. And he felt that way about Kyra. But even though he felt that way about Kyra, when the show ended, he continued to date Alexis. Like, they went on some dates, is what we found out, which I knew was going to happen. I knew it. And I said it too. I said she'd be a doggone fool to fool up and date this man after he chose this girl over you. But Alexis seems kind of like, I don't want to say she's desperate, but a little bit for love, and like, she's seeking it so much, and so I feel like she'll probably put up with a lot more than what most people do put up with. But at the end of the day, it didn't work out. She made it clear that they're not dating, and I don't think that it was probably even her choice. I feel like it was still probably on him, because he really wasn't that into her to begin with. And so, not Alexis, but Kyra acts like she feels a way that he went to and doubled back to Alexis. And um, Tommy asked AJ something, and AJ was just like, Kyra, the issue with Kyra is, even though she said she didn't want to be committed to me at the moment, she expected me to just wait there for her until she was ready, and I couldn't, which is unfair, which is kind of how Kyra's been moving this entire time. Again, we saw that earlier this season when it came to her and Jason. She didn't want Jason to move on and find other connections. She just wanted him to wait there for her until she decided that she was going to pick him. You get what I'm saying? And things don't work that way, Kyra. People have lives, people move on. And I'm just sick of their back and forth. It's not going to work. Period. It's not going to work. But that's it. That's the end of the reunion part one. So far, a good reunion. I'm excited to see it. Apparently, there must be some trouble in paradise with Vernisha and Joelle. We'll see that next week. Y'all excuse my voice as I started this review. I could breathe as the review continued. My nose closed up on me, so I probably sound really crazy right now at the end. So let me get over here and go take some allergy medicine. Thank you all for supporting me. Please come back next week for another review. If you did not watch my review on BET Presents the Encore or on Tyler Perry Sisters, those are both up live on my channel. Please check them out. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Like the videos. Those really boost me in the algorithm. Share the videos out on your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, your Facebook, your Pinterest, whatever site that you like to share things on. Because remember, sharing is caring. All important links are in the description box. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.